So I'm actually trying to remember when we first met.
The first time we met,
it was at that really nice coffee shop that looked like the White House.
Oh, the old house coffee cafe. And that was when you guys, it was just an idea at that point. What if you could take the concept of wine sniffing?
That was I think a week after when we met with Tim for the first time.
Focus group, yeah.
He brought all these like restaurateurs and coffee enthusiasts and pitched the idea of like, oh, you should check out the history of Riedel Wine Glass Company. Huh. They did a lot for wine. They discovered the idea of shape enhancing glassware.
And then the next time when we actually tried it out, you had all those wine glasses.
That was the first official experiment with coffee. So
yeah.
You were really like right there at the beginning.
We got some brewed up coffee.
Okay, yeah, sure. Where should we get it?
I'm dying to. Oh wow, that is beautiful. So the bases are all the same.
It's the inside that's different.
Yeah.
So the inside is what we call the functional shape. When you're thinking about the wine glass, the Glencairn, that's what affects the flavor when it comes to aroma, taste, whatever it might be. Half of it is single wall, and then the other half is it's double wall.
Right.
Keeps your coffee hot,
right,
hands cool. So all of the glasses were designed with the intention of allowing it to be able to be swirled. This doesn't exist right now in coffee, and they wanted to be the first to be able to create something that allows for swirling to take place, that allows for some of the aromatic compounds to kind of
be released.
So the other really cool thing is we call it 2 glasses in 1. The full glass is about 14 ounces. The line you see here is really cool. This is essentially where we've optimized it for 6 ounces or 180 ml, which is really good for standard home brew. And this is optimal for a few reasons. One is it has the maximum surface area.
Right.
Between all the glasses.
The maximum amount of
so at 6 ounces. You can also safely swirl when you're in that. So.
Yeah, look at that.
First time swirling.
It's beautiful.
Have you swirled coffee before?
I haven't. In the actual cup. I mean, you know, a lot of people swirl it in the craft before they pour it, just to kind of mix in any sediment or whatever.
It would be interesting to see what is it like to compare the coffee in a regular cup to this one. Like, what do you notice?
Let's do that. Pour half into this. That's really smooth in that one. You know, it's just very, very smooth.
Now you're gonna swirl your coffee all the time.
Yeah, I know. And spill it with this one. But yeah, you can be way more violent with your swirling. Just the whole experience is so much nicer with a glass that's been really, you know, purposely built for your flavoring experience, whereas this is just built to hold a liquid. This is built for you to experience flavor. Very cool. You know, with this one you do get, it hits a different part of your mouth. And I remember us discussing that and how, you know, with these chunky lips on cups, it's fine when it's a milk drink, but when it's something like a delicate pour over, then it doesn't do anything for your experience.
Yeah.
You know, this one enhances body for me in a big way. Very interesting. Guys, you've done a great job. I mean, the nice thing about these cups as well, which I really like, is that you're going back and smelling the coffee all the time, because it feels like you're meant to carry on engaging with the flavor aspect. Whereas in a cup like this, you might do that to begin with, but it doesn't say to you, I'm going to, you know, give you a flavor experience. Whereas these glasses, they kind of shout at you and say, hey, we're serious about giving you a really good experience. You know, the nice thing I like about this is that it really does give you a depth of perception. Because as it's cooled all the way down, you can really pull in, you can really sniff in, it's not taking in this hot steam. And you can really just pull in just every type of aroma. What's this flavor?
You're discovering something new about your own coffee?
This one has almost like pineapple. The way that it delivers the coffee, you know, is definitely something that I'm seeing the difference and tasting the difference.
And
it's cool.
And just for being a part of it, you were so instrumental in proving that this was possible.
Well, it was so fun.
Can I give you a test?
That'd be great. Can't wait. You know, as I teach sensory, it's going to be fun to be able to have this as another layer of,
like a tool.
Yeah, another layer of understanding, another layer of exploration for people to understand, and then use the flavor wheel all the way from all the pink, the red, the yellow. The pink, the red, the yellow, and the green. All of these flavors have come from the growing process. So these are all the what we call enzymatic flavors. So then they've got nothing to do with how you've brewed it, or that's not where they originate from. They all originate from the tree growing in what kind of soil has it grown in, what was the climate like, how the altitude, the cycle of growth that has affected the tree, the varietal, all of that, and then also the way in which they've processed it. How have they fermented it? Have they done a wash process, and have they kind of added some kind of yeast that has caused a different type of ferment? All of that is going to impact a lot of these sort of fermenty flavors, winey, citric acid. So all of this is kind of the growing and then the processing elements, right? The blue is anywhere from the process of growing all the way through to brewing. Has there been some kind of defect that's come in? So these are all like defective flavors, things that we don't want. And if we have them, then there's a problem. There's been some kind of issue. Then you've got and then you've got the sweet and the nutty things here, and these flavors are actually created during the roasting process, but at the front end of the roasting process.
Right.
So before you get to what we call first crack, right? So then up until first crack, these flavors through the browning development. So you've got caramelization, you've got Maillard reaction. Those create these, and obviously that is when these are kind of brought into the picture, because green coffee tastes like crack. but then the key thing that people don't really, I think, twig into is the fact that the origin of these flavors is in that beginning part of the roast, and then you look at spicy and roasted. The origin of these flavors are in the latter part of the roast. So if you're wanting a lot of these, which most people don't, things like burnt tobacco, most people don't, but then if you do want these sort of things, these heavy flavors will overpower these flavors. They'll literally cover them over, so your tongue and your olfactory won't be able to pick these up even if they're there. So these are going to be heavy flavors. So if you don't want to cover these up with these, then roast it only so that it captures this and this. So anyway, it's just elements of how this flavor chart actually has direct correlation to the whole process.
The process of getting the bean all the way to your cup.
And a lot of people don't really kind of make that connection between these flavor aspects and the process of the whole coffee supply chain. And then so that how it comes back to the end consumer is they're using your cups and they say, okay, I really want to experience more and more of this, the fruity notes. I'm going to enhance it through one of the cups that really brings out the acidity, brings out the aroma. But I'm also going to choose a specific type of coffee that hasn't been dark roasted, that doesn't have to have a long development. Anyway,
it's like what we talked about too, right? There's coffees that can be sweet without having that bitterness and that heaviness that comes with dark roasted coffees sometimes. And you can't have sweet coffee without adding sugar.
Absolutely. Because all of these are sweet, sweet flavors. They're going to bring out that sweetness. And then if you've roasted it correctly, they're going to bring out a lot of these malty sweetness, honey.
Yeah. So some people, it almost sounds like the process is going really far over, and then it creates all the bitterness, and then people just add in the sweet to cover what could have already been avoided from the get-go.
Right. And I think, you know, as a roaster myself, the passion for me in roasting single origin coffees is I want to roast it so that it's not the roasting style that is being celebrated, if you like, or it's not the roasting style that's being on display. It's the energy and the work and the passion that's gone into it by the processes, the farmers, the actual origin, the land that created those types of flavors, so that you can roast it to display these enzymatic flavors rather than, you know, a certain type of roast that I want to kind of create. So that's why I'm all for other products like yours that helps enhance those minute aspects of the actual origin versus, you know, just going for kind of middle of the road coffee flavor, but actually going for like, oh wow, a geisha from Panama is going to have these very specific flavor notes, and with this cup, those are exploding out of. Yeah, so that's
cool. Well, we're excited to get your set so you can start.
Oh man, yeah,
experiment.
definitely.